Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our service for January 31st of 2021, the very last day of January. I'm going to start our service by lighting our Christ candle this morning. And as I light our candle, I light it to represent that spark of love, that flame of love inside of us, the flame of love of God that resides in us. So let's begin our day with our opening song, Love is My Decision by Daniel Nahmod.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. decision right here and now.
Love is my decision right here and now. Let's take that in this morning for just a moment. We all have the capacity to choose love, to make the decision to love, no matter what is happening to us, with us, around us. Love is my decision right here, right now. And that brings us to our daily word. And the daily word for today is now. I find my power in this very moment. There is power in this very moment. Yesterday is past and tomorrow is not yet here. There is only this moment, ripe with promise and potential, and ready for me to live into it fully. Through my many divine gifts, everything I need to get started is within me. I need not wait for the perfect moment to arrive, because there is no time more perfect than right now, and place no more perfect than right here. Procrastination has no place in my life. I fritter away my energy when I find reasons not to get started, losing my zeal and focus, and inviting frustration into my life. Today I claim the power of the present and say, this is the day I begin. Now is the time to begin, to serve, to forgive, to create, and to love. And from 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2, see, now is the acceptable time. See, now is the day of salvation. I find my power in this present moment. And holding that space, we have those who have asked for some prayer help. So we hold in the light Sean Bartlett, Pat Woodruff, Paul Spoto, Andy and Karen Holman, Noelle Garcia and her baby Jake, Allie Holman, Jim and Sharon Hall, Barbara McCarthy, Greg and Patricia Plank, Luann Plank, Keith Malley, Karen, Janine C., Diane Knack, Victoria and Danielle, Charmaine Kyle, and Melissa and Nick. And let's say our prayer together. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as our lives, the all-loving goodness of God, and all is well. And now let's take this into a time of meditation. So once again, I invite you to close your eyes and take that deep breath. We are filled with love. There is nothing but love in this universe. And the universal source of God is that love. We have love filling us, radiating within us and throughout us. And if you wish, you can place your hand on your heart. So many times when we think of love, we think of who we love or what we love. But this morning, I'm going to invite you to think of loving yourself. Sending love to the most important person in your life at this time. And that should be you. Filling yourself with love. And I invite you to say to yourself, I love you. Just, I love you. I love you just as you are, right here, right now, in this beautiful space, in this beautiful time. I love you. I love you. We are here to love. But we have to remember to love ourselves also. Not just send love to the world around, because we can only send as much as what we have inside. Fill yourself with love first. And then you can fill the world. And now let's stay in that space if you choose. And we can listen to our special music, If Love Is Why I'm Here, by Karen Drucker.
If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. If is why we're here. Let us be an open channel. If love is why we're here, let us give and then receive. If love is why you're here, may you be an open channel. If love is why you're here, may you give and then receive. If love is why you're here, may you be an open channel. If love is why you're here, may you give and then receive. Give and receive. Give and receive. If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. Love is why I'm here. Let me give and then receive. Love is why I'm here. Let me give and then receive. Love is why I'm here. Let me give and then receive. Love is why I'm here. Let me give and then receive. Let me give and then receive. Let me give and then receive.
Oh, if love is why I'm here, let us give and then receive. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the last day of January 3rd, 31st of 2021. Tomorrow begins February. And of course, February is considered to be the month of love. So my talk title today is I Choose Love. However, the kind of love I'm speaking of is not the love we send out to others, but it's the love that we send to ourselves. When we fly, we're told to put the air masks on ourselves first and then help those around us to put on theirs. Why? Because if we don't have air, we can't help anyone else. And it's the same with love. How can we truly be loving to another when we ourselves don't feel that love inside of us? So, as with the air masks, fill yourself first, and then you can be the love for others. One of our congregants, David Kyle, has written a great, wonderful book. It's called Energy Teachings of the Three. And there, he writes that love is a universal force that all beings experience directly because love is the fundamental building block of all life and all existence. He writes that the inherent nature of love is the fundamental energy that is everything. And he talks about what he calls the 5 pillars of love. These are appreciation, compassion, forgiveness, kindness, and gratitude. And one of the things that we must remember is that what we hold in mind is expressed in the outer world around us. Joel Goldsmith once wrote in his book, Living Now, because the mind will express whatever we put into it, keeping it filled with God, it expresses as good in the body. Mind is the substance or the essence of which the body and our lives are formed. And it is for this reason that if we entertain truth in the mind, we experience harmony in our lives. Whatever it is that we accept in mind manifests in our body and affairs. The mind itself is pure, the body itself is pure, but it is the kind of food we take into our minds that determines the nature of mind, body, and affairs. And he states, Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. The more we feed the mind with the word of God, the more harmonious the body and our life becomes. And Goldsmith goes on to state, the amount of hours in which we keep the mind filled with truth determines how peaceful and how harmonious our lives will be. A little consistent practice of this nature will reveal how everything that comes within range of our consciousness is changed. So to me, these 5 pillars of love or 5 aspects of love that David talks about are the aspects of love that we need to keep our minds filled with in order to, as Goldsmith writes, have the mind express whatever we put into it. And by keeping it filled with God, it expresses as good in all our bodies and in all our affairs. So if God is love, then these 5 aspects of love are what we need to give to ourselves first and fill our minds with. Each of these is an aspect that we need to develop within side of ourselves, for ourselves, before we can expand them out into the world. So let's start with appreciation. What is it about yourself that you can appreciate? And I'm going to ask the question even differently. What is it about your body that you can appreciate? Or are there things about your body that you don't like? I mean, are you a little bit overweight? Are you a little out of shape? Do you have some trouble hearing, seeing, walking, whatever? And you become irritated about those things and get frustrated about how your body's working. Do you wish you could leave the body behind because it isn't what it used to be 50 years ago? So I'm reminded of a conference I went to several years ago. One of the speakers was a woman who had been locked in a wheelchair for many years. She said the only thing that she had control over was her right hand. With that, she would maneuver the electric wheelchair around. And she told us that she hated her body and was angry with her body most of the time. She told us that she ended up hearing a lecture on loving and loving what we did have in our lives, no matter what the rest of our life was or like, to just love what we did have. So she said she began loving her right hand, thanking it for working the way it did. and holding that love and appreciation for just whatever her right hand could do. She told us that it was sometime later when she realized that she could actually move more of her right hand and her arm. And that feeling was coming back into her right hand and arm that had not been there before. And before long, she realized she could actually pick up her right arm and maneuver it around. So with that, she told us she began loving her left hand just as it was. And after a while, she said she was able to move her left hand, and it just went on from there. It took her 2 years of just loving different parts of her body, but it actually came to the point where she could actually walk again. And when we saw her at the conference, she walked on stage with no help at all, walked around the stage speaking like she had always been doing it. And it was amazing to see the pictures of her in the wheelchair with her left hand curled up into her, and to see her then on stage, fluently moving around. And she gave all the credit to just holding love and appreciation for each part of her body as she went through her time of healing. So my question to you this morning, can you give love and appreciation to this beautiful body of yours, no matter what it's like, and give it the energy it needs to keep functioning in this world to the best of its ability? And how about compassion, the next in David's list? Can you be compassionate with yourself when things are not going the way you want them to go? And we all know that not everything goes our way in the manner we want it to, or in the time we want it to. But do we get upset with ourselves and events because of it? Or do we hold compassion for ourselves that we are impatient and want things differently? Do we understand for ourselves that we are still in these human bodies and we still have human emotions that come up? And it's okay to have those feelings. So, do you move to loving yourself through them and then have compassion for yourself because you did have emotions that you wish weren't there? So just what is compassion? In his book, The Energy Teachings of the Three, David writes this: in compassion, one attunes to the frequency of the other. If we're talking about the aspect of loving ourselves, then who do we tune into? Charles Fillmore once wrote on compassion: divine mind is the one and only reality. Be still and turn into the one great source. So, to have true compassion for ourselves, we need to turn or tune into source, God, the one, whatever name you want to use, and allow that love and compassion to come into your own being. So then, of course, we move on to number 3 in David's list, which is forgiveness. David writes that forgiveness is an energy of release. He writes that forgiveness is the energy that releases the binding structure of the projections that have woven into your ego identity that you call yourself. And we all know that it's so much easier sometimes to forgive someone else than it is to forgive ourselves. So how do we forgive ourselves when we feel we've done something wrong, so very wrong? And that sometimes, no matter how hard we try, there seems to be that little bit of something that we cling to, that we continue to judge and condemn ourselves with. 1 John chapter 1, verse 5 states, "This is the message we have heard from him and declare to you. God is light. In him there is no darkness at all." Edgar Casey once stated, "Judgment is darkness in our soul. The light of God is the forgiveness washing all things clean." So if First John states that God is light and in him there is no darkness at all, and Casey says that judgment is darkness in our soul and the light of God is the forgiveness washing all things clean, then it seems to me the more of the light of God that we bring in, the more forgiveness is coming into us and just dissolving even the last residue of guilt and judgment that we have toward ourselves for having done something that still haunts us. And how do we do that? We do that by meditating, just sitting, becoming quiet, and asking for the light of God within you. And then just sit in the light. Goldsmith once stated that the longer we just sit in that energy of the light, the more our energy field clears automatically. And the faster and easier our life changes for the better. That's all we have to do. Just spend more and more time sitting in the light. And let's face it, in this pandemic, we all have more time on our hands than we've had before. So just spend some of that extra time sitting in the light. And that brings us to the next aspect that David talks about, that of kindness. He writes in his book that kindness is an attitude of acceptance that holds that whatever the circumstance or condition, you respond without judgment or a stance of superiority. That at the energetic level, kindness as an aspect of love is an energy that opens the quality of insight. To be kind is to open your energy field to perceive needs or to simply extend to another the sake of goodwill and caring. So the question is, can you be kind to yourself? And the answer, of course, is, of course you can. We can set ourselves goals of what we want in life, but sometimes those goals don't work out the way we want them to. Or we find that achieving those goals is harder than we thought. You know, and kindness and gentleness to ourselves is that aspect that says that we care about ourselves and that it's okay to not meet the goals that we had wanted to at the time we wanted to do it. You know, and there's another aspect of kindness. Sometimes in order to be kind to ourselves, we have to say no to another person. There are times that in order to please another person, we put ourselves into a situation where we don't feel totally comfortable. It isn't our energetic vibration, and we really don't want to be there. Or maybe we're asked to do something and we really don't want to do it, but because we want to please those around us, we say yes. If that's the case, then be kind to yourself. We have to learn to say no at times. On the other hand, sometimes to be truly kind to ourselves, we have to say yes. To keep ourselves healthy, we have to say yes to healthier eating. We have to say yes to some kind of exercise. We have to say yes to meditation. And we also have to say yes to love and fun and joy and laughter. We have to say yes to all the good that God has for us. We have to say yes to all the different aspects of love that we're discussing today. Not just hearing about them or reading about them, but actually putting them into practice. To say yes to doing each of these for ourselves. And finally, we come to gratitude. David states that gratitude is what love floats on. He states that gratitude is fluid and moves quickly to any person or situation rapidly and easily. He states that gratitude is all encompassing and it shapes your life to be in rhythm and harmony with all of life's experiences. That gratitude reveals the gift of everything. Joy, happiness, and peace are the natural basic experiences when you look at life through the lens of gratitude. That what may seem negative when viewed through the lens of gratitude is seen as a teaching, a gift, and a means for emerging from the illusion of existence. I began my talk today by sharing with you the story of a woman who had been confined to a wheelchair and how she began loving her right hand, the only part of her that she had control over, thanking it for working the way it did, and holding that love and appreciation for just whatever her right hand could do. She was thanking it. She was in gratitude for it working as it did. And then in time, because of that gratitude, her entire body began to respond to that and healed itself to the point of her being able to walk and move without restriction. Albert Schweitzer said that the gratitude ascending from man to God is the supreme transaction between heaven and earth. Meister Eckhart once said that if the only prayers you said in your whole life was thank you, that would suffice. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Gratitude is one of the chief graces of human existence and is crowned in heaven with a consciousness of unity." Emily Cady wrote, "There is something about the mental act of thanksgiving that seems to carry the human mind far beyond the region of doubt into the clear atmosphere of faith and trust where all things are possible." And finally, Stratton Smith wrote in the 4T program, "Gratitude is your expression of acknowledging the oneness of universal energy working in cooperation with your desires." So what can you be grateful for today? In this cold weather, do you have a heater that works? Do you have hot running water? Do you have food to put on your table? Or more personally, as the woman I spoke about did, do you give thanks for all the parts of your body that are working well? Do you give thanks for the eyesight that you do have, for the hearing that you have, for the arms and legs and hands and feet that are working well for you? Wallace Wattles once wrote, our gratitude liberates an energy within us that immediately expands into the formless substance, where it is instantly returned to us in kind." And as Albert Schweitzer said, the gratitude ascending from man to God is the supreme transaction between heaven and earth. So my wish for you is that you may be filled with this supreme transaction and connection with Source for all of your days. So happy February, everyone. Happy month of self-loving. Have an absolutely beautiful, wonderful day. And of course, that brings us into the time for our prosperity statement and our love offerings. And let's begin with our power words for January. My faith assures me that every event in my life has meaning and brings gifts. And our prosperity affirmation, of course, you can always go to unitygold.us and donate on the click on the donate button to give our gifts online. So let's join together in our love offering. Divine Beloved, allow me to give with complete ease and abundance, knowing that together we are the unlimited source of all. Let me be an easy, open conduit for our prosperity. Let me trust that all my needs are always met in amazing ways, and that it is safe to give freely as my heart guides. And equally, let me feel as wildly open to receive as to give, so that our light can shine without restriction. And now we have special music by Karen Good, Perfect Work of Art.
Oh, the sculptor Michelangelo was asked how he got in the flow and made the lovely David from a giant block of stone. He said, well, he was in there waiting. My job was simply excavating. I just took away what did not belong. And I know somewhere not so deep inside of me lives that perfect soul that I was meant to be. Let me be the way I was created. Let me find a pure and simple heart. I'll chip away all jealousy and hatred and reveal God's perfect work of art. Well, I think we're born on angels' wings. Heaven sends such graceful things, like love without condition, knowing we are not alone. Then descends the soul's dark night. Shadows come and block the light, and as the years go by, we turn to stone. My block of stone is made of fear and doubt, but the real me is crying to come out. Let me be the way I was created. Let me find a pure and simple heart. I'll chip away all jealousy and hatred and reveal God's perfect work of art. I'll reveal God's perfect work of art.
Hmm. 2021, a year of renewal, transformation, awakening, healing, and wonder. So just a few announcements for today, or the social group. It meets every Thursday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. All are welcome to join. We do check temperatures at the door, and we do request that masks are worn. And of course, there's a Qigong class every Wednesday morning at 8:30, and it lasts for 30 minutes. It's a Zoom meeting. You can join anytime, and since it's Zoom, there's no worry about social distancing. And of course, here is the book that I spoke about today, Energy Teachings of the Three by David Kyle. And from now until February 5th, it's on sale at Amazon for 99 cents for your audiobook and $9.99 for your soft copy. And David is actually going to be leading a discussion of the group during the Tuesday morning spiritual exploration group on February 9th and 16th. So Tuesday mornings, when Jerry has his spiritual exploration group, you can join with David on the 9th and 16th to discuss this book. And of course, Dr. Nancy Chandrea has her dream interpretation class the first and third Thursdays of the month. So that will be this coming week. And now, let's have our song, I Choose Love by Sue Riley.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We
I choose love. And let's join together in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, because I am, and all is well. So thank you for joining with us today, everyone. Have a beautiful week. God bless. And remember to love yourself. Namaste, everyone.